and welcome to this tiny little channel update I plan on doing for the channel. My name's Killjoy, and I am doing this because it's been a couple of weeks since we've uploaded anything to the channel, and I kind of wanted to do an update video on a few things, mainly. So, basically, as you can tell, there hasn't been a few videos the last couple of weeks. That's because December is, for some reason, a really busy month. Everybody's getting ready for Christmas and various other things. And, yeah, so we haven't really had a huge amount of time. Stuff's been in the works, but not a huge amount of time to upload anything. But the main purpose of this video is to kind of let you know, firstly, there is still videos coming. Maybe less so this month because of Christmas and other things like that. So you'll probably see that there will be things popping up, but it may not be as regular. But after Christmas is finished and into the new year, I want to be getting back onto that schedule and, you know, having stuff every weekend. Basically, that's the point. But I thought I'd take this opportunity to talk about a few things about the channel and like the sort of direction and things with how it's been going and whatnot. Now, first off, I've very much enjoyed the last few months doing it. I like keeping to a rough schedule and enjoy doing the content that we're doing. Retro Reminisce is by far the most fun videos we've done. So we've got the three different videos that we've done are Retro Reminisce, Long Road to GM, and Opinion Machine. Opinion Machine's good because it's quick content, it's fun to do, I can talk about stuff that's in the news. There's actually a Hearthstone one coming out soon, should have been out a week ago, but hopefully that will come out soon. So that will hopefully continue. Retro Reminisce will definitely continue. I know we haven't had one for a little while, but that's because we've got to play a lot of these games. So let's start with Retro Reminisce first. That's the main meat of this channel. Probably always will be. We've taken to the point of playing these games a lot more in depth now, so unfortunately it takes a bit longer to do. However, I'm thinking we'll try and expand it. So my goal is that myself, Fruity and Mark will be getting a lot more organised. We'll have documents, we'll be figuring out the games that we want to do way further in advance, so that we can either all play it in our separate times or come together and play it and bring our ideas together. We're currently working on a game at the moment. I've kind of got my opinions and ideas on it already, but I feel like we might be playing some more of it before we come together. But you can expect a lot more games and hopefully a lot more of those. That should be our regular stuff. I'd love to be able to put one of those out every week, but I can't make any promises because of obviously commitments and things. But that video series is something I want to expand on. I want to make it better. I think the other two love it just as much. You can tell just from them discussing things, getting their views on things is great, and that's something I love working on with them, and I want that to continue, and I want that to be the main thing. Hopefully, in time, we'll start doing some more popular games again, and you'll see maybe more disagreement between myself and the other two, and vice versa. You can expect a Retro Reminisce on Mario 64 at some point, which is going to be really interesting. My views on it versus Mark's views and also Fruity's views. I think it's going to be really interesting. That'll probably come in the new year, so that'll be definitely a video I can promise, 100% promise that will happen. But other than that, we're going to be looking at a lot of games, and some of this stuff is probably going to be a lot less known. But we now own a bunch of consoles, older consoles, so we can play a lot of older games on. So that's fun, and we can expect shorter Retro Reminisces. Maybe do like 2 short ones in a week, or sometimes they'll just be long ones split over a few videos. But expect more of those, definitely coming in the new year. Opinion Machine will probably still happen next year. It's whenever we can't meet up for Retro Reminisce, it's good because it means I can put together, look at some news, put together stuff that I want to talk about. Like I said, I've got a Hearthstone video I want to put up. It's a bit late to do with the newest expansion. I can definitely say that there will be more than likely a video on the Switch when it's launched. Or sorry, not when it's launched, when the presentation happens in January. That's something I will definitely be doing. On whether that's on my own or with the other two, I don't know. Probably maybe one or two, maybe initial reactions and their reactions later on. But you can imagine that those videos will still be coming. They're relatively easy to do. I can chat together the gameplay pretty quick and whatnot, and they're fun. I like to do a little bit of research when I do them, just to make sure I don't sound like a plank when I'm talking about it. But those definitely will continue. The other series, the Road to GM, has only really had 2 videos, and even though we've got a bunch of replays like saved, it's kind of hard sometimes for me and Fruity to find the time to do it. This is something I'll have to talk to him about, and we'll figure it out. Or maybe we just start afresh, and maybe we just do videos of us playing ladder rather than, you know, stuff in a row. It'll just be games that either we felt went really well or really badly, or things that we improved on, or interesting videos that'll hopefully show that off in the gameplay. It's sometimes hard to just get together and do that. We end up doing other things instead, or working on other projects, but it's definitely something I'd like to continue doing, because I do very much enjoy StarCraft. So I can't promise that that'll be very regular, as it hasn't been already, but hopefully into the new year we can stockpile a bunch of ones and then just go through them. So keep an eye out for that. That would definitely be a lot of fun. Other than that, like, I want to talk about maybe some new content or content ideas that I've had that I would like to do. Now, I love a lot of video game music, and it's something that I would love to talk about. However, I'm not sure on what format I want to do it on, because it's hard to play, you know, in a radio format or something like that. It's hard to play the music. I don't want the videos to get flagged up or any issues like that with it. So it's hard to, like, you know, talk about it, play a song and whatnot. But the idea that we could sit around and talk about composers is compelling. I like the idea of that. I think it'd be nice to pick up on a lot of indie composers or people that have composed for smaller games with fantastic soundtracks that maybe have been overshadowed by other things. A good example of that, one of my favourite indie games of all time, Pineapple Smash Crew, has a fantastic chiptune soundtrack. You should check it out. It is amazing. Go listen to it. But I want to bring up, you know, I want to talk about these people, these composers, these songs. I can sit and talk about the, you know, Kojo Kondo and the Super Mario soundtrack and the Zelda soundtrack and all these, you know, these big games and stuff. But I kind of want to, you know, diversify and look at all kinds of composers over, or even just games, even if it's just individual games, talk about the composer on that game and that game's soundtrack. I mean, Donkey Kong Country, the first one, is my favourite soundtrack of all time. I love David Wise, and I think that game is amazing. I could do a whole video on that quite easily. Basically, the plan is I want to do something about the music in video games. I'm not sure how we're going to do it yet. I need to sit and talk with the other two. And even if they want to do it, that's, you know, so expect something in the new year. It might not be that often, but there may be videos where we're talking about soundtracks and things like that, and I definitely would love to do that to highlight, you know, just how much work has gone into creating the soundtrack. Everyone knows those famous games, and the one, you know, like everyone knows Tetris, the Mario tunes. You've got all like the Final Fantasy music, all of those big games. Yeah, it'll be fun to talk about that, but I'd love to highlight, like I said, smaller stuff that maybe gets overlooked and deserves to be recognised for what it is. For the most part, I'm pretty happy with how the channel is going, the ideas behind it, and the people I work with. Should definitely mention that the fact that I'm doing this with Fruity and Mark is as much as their channel as it is mine. This was a group idea we've been working on for about a year. And stems back for a lot longer than that, and I am very glad that I'm doing it with them and that they make this content as fun as it is. That's why Retro Reminisce is such a fun show for me, because it's inputs from three different people and it lets us do a lot of cool things. And hopefully into next year they want to stick on with this and they want to stay on board with them. They seem to be like loving it as much as I am, so I would want that to continue. Obviously if anything changes I can update people. But all in all, like this channel, and over the few months that it's been going, I've very much enjoyed doing the work with them, and I definitely would love to get them even more involved in things, get them more hands-on with it, because currently at the moment I do a lot of the behind-the-scenes work, video editing, all that stuff myself. If I can get them both involved, if they have the time, then we could chuck out more content a week, but that's long-term. I can't promise that. That's a very long-term goal that I'd love to be doing, but as it stands, I think 2 videos a week are reasonable for us, for what we've got our own lives to do as well, so doing that seems reasonable. One of the big things, hopefully next year, going into 2017, is getting a schedule together, like a proper schedule, like knowing what we want to talk about, figuring out a month, at the start of a month, getting together, going, right, this is what I want to do this month, or Mark says something, or Fruity says something else, like, this is what I want to do. We figure it out, and being able to keep a schedule and being like, right, this is what we're doing throughout the year. You know, or just even if that's just for Retro Reminisce, going bang, 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 there you go, that's what we're doing that month, that's what we're doing, so on and so forth. And that seems like a good idea. It means we should hopefully stick to it. Obviously, people have got their lives to lead and stuff might get in the way, but if we've got a schedule, we can at least be like, this is what 2017 is going to look like, games we're going to talk about, and I think that would be really fun. We'll have to, again, I have to talk to them about a lot of this stuff, but I think they'll be on board with it. Other than that, I think for the most point, the only other video that you might see a lot of are the updates videos that I'd like to do and talk about things, and like the idea, like I want to expand the channel to bigger audiences in the new year, and that's down to just posting on forums and places that you know, with the relevant videos and stuff that they would enjoy, and hopefully growing the audience. You know, I have long-term goals for the channel. I've set myself up for a year of doing it, and we'll see, we'll go from there. Like next October, I could be saying, oh, we've grown massively, or we've not grown at all, and that might be the end of it, who knows. But throughout the coming year, you can definitely enjoy the stuff that we're doing, and hopefully it will get bigger and we'll be able to spend more time doing it, because I'd love to be able to spend more time working on things so that it's just consistent constantly. The other thing I was thinking about was stuff that might require changing, or stuff that I don't like. Currently at the moment I think things are alright. Obviously I would like to, like I said just then, be able to work on a lot more of the editing and stuff in my free time when I had it, but it's not always possible. I'd like to just focus a lot more and just be able to make sure that the videos are a good standard. I think the problem is the way that we do some things sometimes, the video quality is a bit all over the shop, and I'd like to change that and make sure everything's up to snuff. Like the audio quality I'm super happy with, but the video quality I'd like to maybe change. So I'm definitely going to be looking at into the next year for things like that. Maybe even look into finding out people that can do a better job than I can. And that's something that also that I'll be looking into next year as well, is if it's possible to do a website, if it's possible to have, you know, somebody deal with the social media side and other things like that, get a decent logo rather than the one that I put together. There's a lot of these things that I'm thinking about. You know, obviously it's cost as well, and none of us have a huge amount of money, but we'd like to be able to, you know, set up to a point where it is, it just quality-wise is just better all around. So that's stuff that we'll definitely be thinking about, and that will hopefully happen, you know, within the year. Can't make any specific promises. But I think that's, all in all, that's kind of what I want to talk about. I know that this month's been a bit slow, or the last couple of weeks have. Don't expect it to get too much better through December, but like I said, I've got a video ready to go. Or hopefully a few videos this month, and then into 2017. Hopefully more regular videos, doing things, figuring out what the guys want to do, if they want to do anything specific, the direction we want to go in. But so far I'd say things are pretty good, and hopefully, you know, we'll continue to do the stuff that we enjoy, and hopefully people will continue to enjoy watching it. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me for now. Maybe there'll be another update video in New Year when January hits, but that's it for me, and I will see you guys next time.